In his novel Chronicle of a Death Foretold, Gabriel Garcia Marquez criticizes the tendency of Colombian society's strict rules to result in thoughtless and mechanical behaviors among the people. It's weird. Marquez conveys this criticism through his characterization of Pablo and Pedro. The Vicario brothers, only described in general terms, are mostly as one character. The combination of their generic physical traits and mechanical behavior contributes to their characterization as an everyman figure for their society. As a display of their willingness to obey the customs of Colombian culture, they follow through with the murder of Santiago Nassar purely because they are obligated to do so. Since the twins represent society as a whole, the murder forces the reader to question not only the brothers' morality, but the morality of their entire society. The Vicario brothers are a clear everyman figure for Colombian society. I say society a lot. The fact that the brothers are identical twins is enough proof. The uniformity of two identical people indicates that everyone in the society has some degree of sameness. In the real-life situation Marquez based Chronicle of a Death Foretold on, the murder was carried out by two brothers who were twins, chose to write the brothers as identical twins who, quote, looked so much alike that it was difficult to tell them apart, close quote, which makes their characterization as a representation of everyone in Colombian society much more identifiable. In addition to their physical similarities, the twins are further characterized as an everyman figure by the language that Marquez uses to describe their actions. They operate as one person, performing every action together. On the morning of the murder, Marquez writes that, quote, they were still waiting for their dark wedding suits, and they looked devastated, but they'd done their duty and shaved. Although they hadn't stopped drinking, they weren't drunk. They looked rather like insomniac sleepwalkers. They'd fallen asleep, they had barely awakened. Then they both grabbed the rolled up newspapers. Close quote. The use of they with every verb in this paragraph indicates that the brothers complete actions in unison, further connoting both their mechanical nature and their identicality. This language is used throughout the novel, and Marquez only mentions Pablo Vicario as his own person a total of 33 times in the entire novel. Novel is repeated. And Pedro performs an independent action only 40 times in the novel. Again. In addition, the twins can be viewed as two sides of the same coin, a common trope in identical twin characters. Marquez writes, quote, in difficult emergencies, they showed opposite characters. Close quote. Characters is too repeated. Which highlights the characterization of the Vicario brothers as one person, since in moral dilemmas, many people feel as though they are divided between two options. Two, opposing options. The characterization of the twins as one person contributes to their depiction as an everyman figure, since it highlights their sameness, which portrays them as a representation of Colombian society. This sameness also brings out their mechanical nature, since identical actions typically imply robotic mechanisms are similar in human characteristics. The twins' mechanical nature is further displayed through their actions, and is reinforced by Marquez's narration style, which does not allow for the discussion of the brothers' thoughts or emotions. This makes it seem as though the brothers have no thoughts or emotions, which further develops the criticism of Colombian society's mechanical nature. This is shown when the brothers hear that Santiago had taken Angela's virginity, since they are oddly not enraged, and instead they immediately, quote, went to the bin in the pigsty where they kept their sacrificial tools and picked out the two best knives, close quote, knowing without thought that they would have to kill him. They would. Ordinarily, when a murder occurs, the murderer displays some sign of vicious will, or is so utterly consumed by anger that they see no alternative to murder. In the case of Pablo and Pedro Vicario, however, there is no vicious will. Marquez depicts the Vicario brothers' response to Angela's confession as an action rather than an emotion, which contributes to the characterization of the twins as emotionless. If Marquez had written that the Vicario brothers were overcome by anger that Santiago had taken